Morning, it's Fish, the Beach Bum Investor. I thought I'd have a look at the latest fork that's going to be hitting Bitcoin today. I'm just going to post up in Steam as I usually do to get the discussion kicked off there as well. It's an interesting fork. It sort of slipped under my radar a little bit, as it did for a lot of people. Hey Hourglass, starting to... Oh, it's close. Hourglass just beat A-Dog today. Hey A-Dog, how are you, bro? Yeah, so we're going to take a look at the fork. Bitcoin Gold, due to hit 25th of November. I think it might actually... 25th of October. So, yeah, we're going to have a look at that today and see what that means for all of us that are holding Bitcoin. No, you're right, A-Dog. Love you too, bro. Take it easy. I'm just going to post this one up. As soon as I can actually get this to work. No idea where my live stream is. Oh, there it is. Cool. Yeah, so I think it's an important discussion coming up because it does look to be history repeating itself with some of the money coming out of the altcoins back into Bitcoin over the last 24 hours as people realise they're about to get airdropped a whole bunch more coins, like they did with Bitcoin Cash. So I think that what is causing the money to flow out some of the altcoins and into Bitcoin, as I've seen that pattern emerging. I'm just going to close that door behind me. Hopefully that'll cut down the glare and the background noise. It doesn't seem to have worked very well. But if I swing this way a bit, got glare everywhere, sorry. We'll deal with it. So, steam it. Post. Okay, cool. So what we'll do is we'll start by running through the market quickly, as we usually do, just to give time for everyone to get in. I'll just post up in Discord and let everyone know we're here. Crypto chat. Hey guys, live now, and I'll post it there as well. So, let's have a look at the market to start with, and then we'll talk Bitcoin Gold and the fork coming up on 25th of October. Just getting up coin market cap to see where we're sitting. It's pretty steady last time I checked. Yeah, nice. 149 billion. BTC Gold. Yeah, Bitcoin Gold coming out. I think BTG is Bitcoin, is the trade symbol it's going to be under. What's up? What's up, yeah? How are you, brother? Yeah, we're going to talk Bitcoin Gold today, man. More free coins coming. So I want to make sure everyone's prepared for that. I certainly traded out of too much Bitcoin coming up to the last fork and missed out on Bitcoin Cash. I think Bitcoin Gold is actually going to be a better fork than Bitcoin Cash, if I can say that. I think Bitcoin Cash was... I couldn't really ever see the point behind it. Bitcoin Gold, I see that they're offering a new value proposition to the Bitcoin-based market in terms of GPU mining. We'll get more onto that in a second. Just getting you prepared for what we're going to be discussing today. Xiao, I hope you've got some research ready on this one, and all of you to contribute. Let's have a quick look at the market. So Bitcoin has popped back over the 4,400 mark. It's now trading at $4,413 a coin. It's actually up 1.73% in the last 24 hours and has regained a fairly strong dominance of 49%, which is quite high. I think a lot of people are getting ready for that airdrop, basically, of Bitcoin Gold. So they're stacking up and they're taking out some of the profit they've made on some altcoins, moving it back into the Bitcoin market, and then I think we'll see the same cycle repeat that we saw last time, where the altcoin market's probably going to take a little bit of a hit as money comes out of that into Bitcoin, and then perhaps after the forking we'll see it take off again in the altcoin market as people realise that Bitcoin Gold is another altcoin. So if there's validity behind that, there's obviously validity behind the rest of the market. And Bitcoin Gold is interesting value proposition in that it allows GPU mining, but Still got a 10-minute block time. Still got certainly some issues there. So, yeah, I much prefer it to the Bitcoin Cash fork, but I still prefer some of the altcoins out there to what Bitcoin Gold's going to bring to the market. So, be interesting anyway. But I'd say that's what's happening at the moment. The volumes are not high, but we're just coming off Sunday, just into Monday here in Australia. So we've just started the ball rolling. Asia should be waking up now, or soonish. Hey, how are you, Joe? Absolutely nothing. What are you talking about? Anyway, what did he say? Yeah, so I think leading up to the fork, you could see Bitcoin go up in prices. People just want the free Bitcoin Gold. Certainly saw it with Bitcoin Cash as people realised what was going on. So be prepared for that. Leading up to the 25th of the month. I don't know if the shares are actually dropped on the 25th or the 1st of November. I have to double check on that. But anyway, I think the market could certainly see some altcoins draining out into Bitcoin and then reverse that cycle after the fork. Let's have a look at the market, the rest of the market. Yeah, I don't think it'll... I think it could affect the market positively, Joe, all up. Like, it'll be a slight flow of money coming out of altcoins into Bitcoin because people want the free Bitcoin Gold, right? And then on top of that, there might be some extra speculative money coming to the market as people just say, okay, well, I'm going to get free Bitcoin, so they buy more Bitcoin. This is all over the next 3 weeks, that I can see this sort of playing out. We'll see how we go. I'm just sort of developing my theories on it now. I'd love to hear your thoughts and the rest of the group's thoughts, but I think we could see price action. History tends to repeat. Last time we saw a fork in Bitcoin smashed up to new highs, so we're going to see that again. Don't know. Korea and China have taken a pretty strong stance on crypto at the moment, but Japan's gone a step in the right direction, as you're probably aware, Joe. We talked about that yesterday. So yeah, it's always an interesting time in the crypto economy. It's very rare we come on here and don't have something to talk about. Yeah, it crashed beforehand, but I believe it actually picked up a hell of a lot of steam leading up to that, Joe, if I'm correct, mate. It did crash heavily beforehand with uncertainty, I think, what was happening in the last fork, right, with Bitcoin Cash. But the actual run-up to those highs actually started well before the fork was implemented, as people realised they would get free Bitcoin Cash. As that became reported and people became aware of that, I think that was the trend. Stream's going well, bro. Stream's going well. We're just talking, there's another big decision in our economy coming up, another big coin hitting the market, and we're just discussing and seeing how that differs from the last fork and what we think GPU mining will bring to the economy in terms of, yeah, it's complicated, dog? Okay. Yeah, so we're just saying what we think GPU, whether Bitcoin Gold is going to be a valuable addition to the crypto economy, and that's kind of the basis for our discussion today. But as usual, we'll be checking out all the... Hey, John Doe. How are you, bro? Hey, A-Dog, John Doe's the producer guy I was telling you about as well. Yeah, new look, bro. I got cleaned up. I got a couple of comps coming up, and I got one coming up in 6 days, actually, up at the Sunshine Coast, and I just... Like, I'm taking on Gaz up there, Gary Thatcher, and he's bloody good, mate. He's #1 in Australia at the moment. And so if I don't have my hair out of my eyes, look, he's beaten me 4-0, so I don't have that great a chance against him to start with. I'm going to give it everything, though, and that's what the haircut's about. And people starting to call me Howard Hughes. Yeah, message John Doe on Discord. We'll get you... Oh, you don't have Discord, cool. Well, I can coordinate that, John Doe. All we got to do, man, is just sort of get a beat together. It can be basic as just a beat together. I think it was 91 beats per minute from memory, wasn't it? 61. I don't know. You're the producer, John Doe. You tell me. But it was that song that I sent you, man. We just got to get something to sort of hit for backing for that, so I can record vocals, and then A-Dog's actually going to make the video. He's going to make his own... It was 91. Yeah. It was 91. I thought so. Yeah, 61 sounds a bit slow. Yeah, so we're just going to get some sort of beat at 91 beats a minute, and then we can work on A-Dog's rap. I can do the vocals like that. I know the song off the top of my head now. And we'll send the audio through to A-Dog, and little 12-year-old genius whiz kid can produce his own music video. So he's going to put his own clip together for it, which would be pretty fun. So it'll be like a I don't know, a YouTube collaboration music video. It'd be a bit of fun. See how it goes with that. Anyway, we'll keep you in the loop, dog. No need to stress, man. We just got a lot of things on at the moment. We're working on investments as well, so the music stuff is sort of when we get a little bit of time on the side, we get to record those raps and have some fun with it. But we do have to put the work first, bro. But we'll get that through to you. We've got a producer, we've got the vocalist, so we'll get it through to you as soon as we can, dog, so you can put your magic to it. Alright, let's keep having a look at the market. Ethereum's sitting at 300, pretty much dead on the money, $300 US. ICOs are an interesting concept going forward. I think you're going to see more countries regulating them. And I think there might even be like means tests. There's no basis for this thought. I'm just thinking if I'm in government and I still want to see, you know, the technology being developed in my country because I believe in the technology, how am I going to encourage that in a safe space? And the answer is, regulating it to some degree. Regulation can be a good thing, and I think that if we had a means test, so a basic standard that ICOs had to pass to even be able to be classified as ICOs and be money crowdfunded that way. You're back. Okay, cool, dog. Yeah, my stream might crash, man. My tech's terrible. I'll get that updated. But yeah, so the ICO space is an interesting space at the moment. It could go one of two ways. It could see, I think it's going to see either heavier regulation from most countries, because I think it would be irresponsible for countries not to regulate this in some way. I don't think China's reaction and Korea's reaction is at all reasonable. I think Japan has shown the way so far, as they have up until now with the crypto economy in general. So I think that's the lead that the rest of the governments have to follow in saying, look, it's not necessary to completely ban it, but certainly there is some standards needed in this industry, because you're seeing some ICOs really make some amazing amounts of money. So, and really too much for the stage of development they're at. Like I said, I've seen white papers make $3 million that would have been put together in a couple of hours. So I think there is actually a call for it. But the thing with that is you've got to watch your ICO coins going forward. You know, obviously if ICOs are not going to be a thing anymore, or it's going to be heavily regulated and very hard to actually launch an ICO, so more coins just choose to go directly to market, or perhaps don't choose crypto as a form of crowdfunding at all, that's going to hurt the value of the DApp coins, like Ethereum, like Neo, like Lisk, so like Rise. You know, you guys know, and we go over them all the time. They're great coins, great value propositions in each of the ones I just mentioned. But if the ICO game becomes if the capital comes out of that game, then are those coins worth as much? And to me, the answer is no. It's just one less value proposition, I guess, that they bring to a market, in terms of that you can run an ICO off the back of their platform. So at $300, I think we're sort of seeing the market factor in all these things. It was way too low around the 200s. We knew that. Even if it's not going to be able to offer ICOs, there's still going to be able to be projects built on top of the Ethereum base, right? So whether they go to market through an ICO, hey Dane, how are you, bro? Whether they go through to market at that point, good comments, guys. I'm going to catch up in a second. I think my internet just kicked back in. You're winning, man. Good to hear. That's what I like to hear. I had a bit of a rough night on the trades. The PIVX took a hit. We'll get onto that in a second. But I bought at 70, was my lowest, didn't stick below that. I'll check it in a second, but obviously you like to... If my lowest buy order hits, it really means that I've miscalculated how low it would go, because I usually have I didn't see it going this low, to be honest, below 70. 70 was like dead lowest I could see it, and it's gone below that this morning. I'll check it in a second. But yeah, so my concern with DApp coins going forward is ICO regulations and ICO restrictions. Now, regulation's not necessarily a bad thing. Restriction's definitely a bad thing. Or bans, definitely a bad thing for those DApp platforms. So, yeah, I'm sort of waiting and seeing a little bit. Plus, I think the Ethereum moving to proof of stake is a good thing. And that's an interesting... Look, let me just tie that into Bitcoin Gold as well. That's certainly where they could pick up a lot of hashing power. If Ethereum moved to proof of stake, and miners from Ethereum have basically got equipment they can't use anymore, perhaps they'll look at Bitcoin Gold as an option for mining. So that's I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a miner, so my understanding of that's pretty basic. But I just read a comment based on that, and I thought, well, that makes sense to me. So that wasn't my own theory, but I can buy into that for sure. If Ethereum's moving to proof of stake, the mining power from there's got to go somewhere, right? So, yeah, that'll be an interesting time with Ethereum. Ripple's one of the few gainers in the last 24 hours in those top sort of 10 coins. A lot of them have, most of them have retraced. But Ripple has actually been fairly strong. It's up 4%. It's one of the better ones. NEM, NEO, and Ripple in the top 10 are the gainers we're looking at. NEM's got some announcements coming out in October. It is a solid project. It's been sleeping for ages. Like, the action's been happening around NEM, and NEM's a good quality coin. They've got a harvesting feature. Xiao, if you've got anything else, I know that you like NEM. If you've got anything else you'd like to add about NEM, please feel free to put that in the chat. And that reminds me, I will just get back to the chat to see what everyone's been saying. Okay, so Hourglass has said, in the future, everyone is going to be trading for a living. Automatic income, making money while you sleep will be the norm. Cryptocurrency will not be taxed anymore. Decentralized exchanges will be. There you go. It's an interesting perspective. Interesting opinion there, Hourglass. Thank you for sharing it. There is other point. ICOs get a lot of Ether, mainly what caused the project to sell Ether for fiat, keeping Ether price lower. That's interesting, Xiao. Yeah, I guess I hear what you're saying. So when they crowdfund this money, right, they're going to have to, they've got to change that into fiat currency in most cases to be spent on developing the project. So at that point, they're selling it off because they have to. They're not playing markets. That's a really interesting point, Xiao. Good point. And that's why we have markets, man, because it's not, there's good pros and cons, yeses and nos, and that's a very, very balanced argument right there. So let's keep having a look at the market. If anyone's got any more comments, please feel free to leave them. It always keeps the discussion moving when you guys are contributing to it, so thank you very much for leaving those comments. I'll get back to the market and see what else we can find here. But yeah, I quite like NEM. I'm only holding a little bit these days, but I still think it's a good project. What else have we got that's been doing okay? Let's have a look here. QTUM's been solid. That's Xiao, well done on that. I think you picked it up around $8, mate. Well done. I missed it again. Still haven't got any. Story of my life with QTUM. I'll probably never get any. Hey, Lisk is one that really ran down. 4.5% down in the last 24 hours. Invest feed. No, I haven't yet, Bovosh, but I saw Xiao talking about that. It might have been both of you talking about that in our Discord group. And welcome to the conversation, Bovosh. Bovosh has just asked whether I've seen... let me just double check the name. Have you checked out Invest feed yet? No, I haven't. That's... I haven't checked it out, bottom line. Sorry, Bovosh, I haven't checked it out yet. I did see some discussion on it in our Discord group, but I haven't had time to check it out myself. Okay, going back to the market. Let's have a look. Tethers. I watched a YouTube video, I can't remember who it was from, but I watched it this morning, or last night. And there was some, not allegations, but speculations made about Tether, perhaps not being 100% legitimate in terms of the fact that they're actually connected with Bitfinex. Bitfinex are a major shareholder in Tether, and in the Bitfinex hack, where I think it was $72 million was hacked, going off the top of my head, so rough approximate figures. What Bitfinex essentially decided to do at that point is rather than, because what happened is it was a random attack on random wallets in Bitfinex, and they basically cleared out a whole bunch of wallets, and some wallets weren't touched at all, and they said, oh, Bitfinex said, well, we'll make it fair and we'll just take it off everyone and, you know, take it off everyone else and compensate those so everyone loses an equal amount. A lot of people weren't happy with that, of course, but there was, what they essentially did to compensate for that was release Bitfinex tokens. And they kind of got sold at cents on the dollar, as you'd expect after a hacking. And basically what happened is then Bitfinex bought them all back. But they bought them all back. Basically, it's a way of siphoning money without actually paying it back. It's quite complex, and it's going to take myself a little bit more to get my head around to actually be able to explain it really in layman's terms. But it's a rumour, only a rumour, that there is some really suspicious patterns between the Bitfinex buyback, I guess, of their own coin to compensate people for lost revenue during the hacking and the movements of Tether. And given that Bitfinex owns a large portion of Tether, or a large enough portion of Tether, that's concerning. And I can understand that being concerning. I forget who it was that brought that to my attention, one of the YouTubers. And I went, you know what? I didn't like Tether for a long time, and then I started to like it, and now I'm off it again. There you go. Sorry to Tether people. But until that sort, like, it's probably really conspiracy theorist stuff and maybe nothing to worry about, but there is some really interesting correlations between the movement of Tether and the movement of the Bitfinex coin during that time. So to me, given that it's open knowledge that Bitfinex own part of Tether, that's concerning. Anyway, moving on. Steam. Steam's had a good run up. Like overall, not a great run up in the last 24 hours. It's retraced 5%, but it's up 30%. And Steam are doing, I forget what they're called. It's media tokens, something like that. I can't remember what it's called. So they have, proven that despite the fact that I believe it was the lead developer did actually leave Steam it, the community is going to continue to develop it from the project from where it is now to where it needs to be to take on the likes of Reddit first and foremost, and then moving on to Facebook. As usual, fish doesn't aim small. And I'm on the Steam it bandwagon in terms of social media. In terms of a written social media site, I think it's brilliant. I think the Viewly are coming out with a very, very good solution for a decentralized YouTuber. They're going to take down my video now that I've said that. Hope not, but I really do. I think Viewly offers an excellent decentralized value proposition going forward. And I've even signed up for alpha testing, so I'll be posting a video up there myself very soon. Oh, don't know if Pete's on the convo, but Pete. Yeah, I'll be posting up soon, man. I signed up for the alpha test. Oh, you guys can follow me over there as well. We're going to actually start doing the Crypto Wave Investment Crew channel over there at Viewly. So you're welcome to follow me over there. There's a link put up in our Discord group. I might just, if I've got it here, I might even just chuck it in the chat again. Have I got it here? No, I don't. Me. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Like I was just having a look at the alpha test site, and it's all pretty good. It's very, very raw, very early days, but looks promising to me. And just the curation system, no ads. Not the money being kicked up to one authority or group of authorities. So yeah, I quite like the idea. I'll certainly support it. I'm probably going to put a little bit into the pre-ICO sale, and then on top of that, I'll make content for their platform. So yeah, I'm interested in that one. That's going to be interesting going forward. Just keep running down the market for another 5 minutes, and then we'll get on to the Bitcoin gold discussion. So get your notes ready for that. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it just another altcoin? Is it a cash grab? Is there actual need for it as opposed to Bitcoin Cash? Interesting questions. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And as we do that, I'm just going to, as you get your thoughts ready and I prepare mine, I'll just run down. We'll have a look down to PIVX because I did want to have a look at PIVX specifically, given that it has dropped. And given that we've got some interesting news coming out in the coming months, but it should be this month really. anyway, keep continuing to move down. ARK is another one that has dropped back down to that $2.80 mark. It's at $2.89 at the moment, so it has retraced 3.5% in the last 24 hours and 4% over 7 days. Now, I'm happy on buying ARK at that price, to be honest. I think long term it's a good project. I think Side Bridge technology offers a really interesting value proposition to the crypto economy. We can talk about that, John Doe. Mate, I'm always happy to talk about that project because we did have a bit of a discussion on that yesterday, but I think it's important we revisit that. John Doe's just asked about the Icon ICO, so we'll get a bit of an update on that just before we move on to Bitcoin Gold. So I'll just finish running through the market first, then Icon, then Bitcoin Gold. Plenty of time. We've got 35 minutes left. Okay, so 10x it's had a nice recovery after dropping down that $2 mark or $1.80. I got it so cheap. I was like, yo, I didn't buy much, but a win's a win. You just keep racking up those little percentages where you can, buying cheap, selling high, and hodling most of it. Really, that's what I do. I don't trade too much because I like to hold it. I don't like to see it go skyrocketing and go, oh, why did I sell out of all that? Like I did with Neo at $10. So, I've changed strategies a little bit since then, especially since this market is so volatile and it is really prone to like 2x run-ups, like nothing. Like it's done it with Neo in the last week. You've gone 70% on that if you did it in the last week. So, and that's a high market cap coin. Fair enough, it took significant retracements to get to a point where you could make 70% in 7 days. That's serious returns. But the market is certainly a volatile one at the moment, especially with governments and regulatory bodies and investors. Everyone's trying to figure it out at the moment. We're all doing it together. It's not just our little group. It's the world, the greater crypto world and the world in general. So yeah, 10x for mine was really good buying around that $2 mark. It's had a nice run up. Look, I think it's been as high as $4 in history or up around that mark, maybe even higher. So for me, it's still a really good value proposition going forward. The team's constantly working over there. They're always on. The developers and the community are constantly posting on YouTube, always getting updates on what's going on. That's what I like. Visible signs of work, visible signs of community building, and visible signs that they're actually really thinking about how we're going to get this crypto adopted into mainstream, integrated into mainstream, if you like. So I love what 10x are doing, and the team over there, I think, should be commended from the wider crypto economy for their efforts that help all of us to get get that greater understanding of blockchain technology out there and greater acceptance of it. So yeah, I mean, you guys know I'm a PIVX representative, but I've got mad respect for the guys at 10x. So well done to you guys. What else we got? Gas is holding true, up 100%. Yeah, we talked the exchanges in Japan yesterday, yeah, but we can go through that again, man. It's all very current, very relative stuff. As you know, that they took the 11 exchanges were officially granted regulation, if you like, or approved to be trading in Japan, with 17 more currently on the books being reviewed by the Japanese regulatory commissions in this space. They're talking about actually having physical surveillance at Japanese exchanges, so that's pretty cool, right? It's just bringing that real-world crossover, that integration, that mainstream adoption that we're looking for. And Japan are thinking, how do we do it? And to be honest, the old school investors, the big guys with the big money, most of them won't touch something that's not regulated. They won't. So regulation's a good thing. I think it's going to see more money flowing in from Japan in 2018, as I've been speculating for 2 or 3 months at least now. Japan's going to be a massive player. Ever since I started hearing the rumours that up to 90% of the country could be crypto ready by the end of 2018. They were speculative figures. But, I mean, that's possible, right? And if that's possible, that's a major world economy legitimising crypto. That's brilliant. So yeah, I'm looking forward for that to happen throughout 2018, and hopefully the rest of the dominoes to fall going through to 2020 and the next blockchain reward halving. So yeah, that's what I think. I'll reassess the markets is sort of around that 2020 time. Obviously there's going to be stuff that happens in between them, but in terms of actual long-term views, I'm not giving up or not panicking and selling out any majority until leading up to 2020. That's my plan. Please make your own strategies. Hourglass has come in with a bit of extra convo for us. What do you said, Hourglass? I missed it. Hourglass says, Dubai just made their own coin. It's called M-Coin. Shit is going crazy. Yeah, so Emirates coin, I'm guessing. Cool. Awesome. Very wealthy country, we know that. A lot of my friends have been to Dubai. Actually, an ex-girlfriend of mine. I won't say her name because she might not like that, but we're still good friends, actually. I drove her to the interview. She got the job, which ended up her leaving. But she's a flight attendant for, she was for Emirates. She's now a flight attendant for the royal family in Dubai. So, yeah, the one that got away. I drove her to that interview thinking, it'll be right, she won't get it. Famous last words. Anyway, yeah, so that's interesting that Dubai have got into it. I've also heard of the Japanese banking sector. The Japanese banking sector getting into making their own coin, J-Coin. Yeah, that's love. Thanks, Kev. I'm not sure about that, mate. We were pretty young. Yeah, 2020's Hourglass this year. I think a lot of people are using that for like their medium-term exit point, if you like, around that 2020 mark, because you do have to, you got to cash out at times. You got to turn it into real world money so you can enjoy some of your profits, or as I like to do, give away some of my profits. So you got to do that at times. There's no shame in that. Like, I know a lot of people say don't sell anything. I think validating it as a currency is far more important. Showing people, look, here's me spending the money I made. And if that has to be in fiat for now, so be it. But better yet, if you've got a crypto credit card and you can go and buy a friend with a beer with the money you made, or go buy the pretty girl lunch and take her out for lunch, and maybe that'll get you somewhere with a crypto credit card. You might get a new girlfriend out of that, one that doesn't run away to Dubai. There's plenty of better ways for mine. Than just holding all together. I think just holding all together doesn't actually show how this is real world currency. I think the way that I'm doing it, and tooting my own horn a little bit, by paying bills when it runs up, by using it on, I'm still trying to get in contact with Julian from 10X to try and get a 10X credit card. Let's do something together. So I can show people me doing things in Australia, all over Australia with my 10X credit card. Paying with PIVX, of course. But yeah, Zhao's just commented to add on to this discussion. We're going to get on to the rest of the discussion soon, because I do tend to get sidetracked on these philosophical rants. So Zhao's just said, though, to add to my philosophical rant, he said it's the first question everyone asks. He said, that is virtual money, how can you really use it? He's right. That's what people want to know. Yeah, okay. And when I tell people that I can use Living Room as Satoshi, and I go, look, I can just transfer it to my bank account or pay bills. That's what I can do with it at the moment. Because I don't have a credit card yet, crypto debit card. I don't have one yet. So for me, the only way I can actually show it being used in real world situations to validate it as real currency is to pay bills and to transfer it into bank accounts using Living Room as Satoshi. Okay, let's see what Hourglass has to say. Hourglass says the US thinks BTC is property and they tax it as such. It's not. This shit is real currency. Let's just get to the future already. Get with it. Yeah, no, that's true. But you've got to remember is that the people who run the current financial systems and economic systems have a very big incentive to keep it the way it is. I know that because I came from that side of the things. You guys know that. Money makes money. It's as simple as that. And it shouldn't. Not at the rates it does. It shouldn't be the case that the guy who can afford to just sit money there is being loaned to the guy who has to then pay 10-20% on a car loan because he defaults because something else goes wrong. And it's just all backward at the moment. I just think crypto gives us a chance of... It's never going to change it altogether. You guys realise that. There's still going to be the rich and the poor with crypto. Of course there is. But what it gives us a chance to level that playing field and not to have this cycle of just the rich getting richer and the poor, the gap widening, because that is the statistics. You can't argue statistics, and the statistics are the rich are getting richer and the working class are falling further behind and further enslaving themselves to the richest people in the world. It's getting out of balance. So crypto gives us a chance to actually restore some balance. I don't think it'll level the playing field completely. I don't think so. But it's a fairer way, and I think everyone's realizing that. So let's get on to Bitcoin Gold, because otherwise I'm going to philosophically rant about blockchain and everything associated with that, which is essentially life. So let's get on to Bitcoin Gold. Bitcoin Gold for me is a really interesting take on launching an altcoin. That's the way I see this. Even some top people at Bitcoin, the money we have now is solely debt. Thank you, Hourglass. Yes, you can. There's plenty of documentaries, there's plenty of economic papers, there's plenty of maths that you can do to actually prove that the financial system offered by fiat currencies is the biggest pyramid scheme the world has ever seen, and it will collapse. Simple as that. Maths cannot not be disproven. Hey, Cold Chisel. So let's get back onto Bitcoin Gold, because that's what we are here to discuss. That was the title today. So Bitcoin Gold for me is a really interesting value proposition. And I don't often say that. You guys know I hated Bitcoin Cash. Wasn't a fan of it. Not at all. Bitcoin Gold for mine is a little bit different. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying, yeah, Bitcoin Gold. But what I'm saying is at least they are thinking. At least they are bringing a different value proposition, and a significantly different value proposition, to the market. That's as simple as that. They really have thought about perhaps how can we, mining in Bitcoin essentially is becoming pretty hectic under the ASIC mining, I believe it's called, and it's like specific, purpose specific mining. Whereas what Bitcoin Gold are doing is they're actually introducing basically the Bitcoin protocol, very minutely changed to allow for GPU mining. So that essentially allows people who are using graphics cards, if I've got that right, you'll have to excuse me, computers are not my strong point, but the people who are using graphics cards to actually mine other projects, i.e. Ethereum possibly, and other projects that Signatum, I think, was one that could be mined with a graphics card, they might choose to switch and have a look at Bitcoin Gold and devote their mining power, their hashing power there. So that's certainly a possibility. Now, the thing I like about Bitcoin Gold is, as well, is they kind of, it doesn't seem to me like they're taking on Bitcoin. That's not what it feels like. With Bitcoin Cash, it felt like that. It felt like an internal struggle, and we're going to go this way, you're going to go that way, and we're going to crush you, we're going to crush you. Bitcoin Gold doesn't have the same feel to it for mine. It really doesn't. It has a different feel to it, and I'm more open to seeing it as an addition to the crypto economy than I was Bitcoin Cash. Now, I can certainly be wrong on this, and I won't be going hell for leather. I'm going to get free Bitcoin Gold the same way as I got free Bitcoin Cash. So my plan is just not to set any sell orders on it, because I might even have a go at mining it if we've got our equipment in place so we can do a proof of concept on the earnings of mining. Thank you, Cold Chisel. Graphics processor unit, hence GPU. Yeah, so was I close with calling it a graphics card? I think I was. Yes! Fish the computer genius. Yeah, so thanks for clearing that up, Cold Chisel. That's awesome. My computer tech terminology can let me down from time to time, but I'm grasping the concept of what that means. So that's the main thing for me with computers. Yeah, so I actually don't mind it. And to me, it's just like, they could have gone to ICO or something, but they're just airdropping the same way Bitcoin Cash did. I think that's a reasonably intelligent strategy, because then everyone has it, right? It's like widespread and tradable straight away. So I think Bitcoin Gold has some promise over Bitcoin Cash. I believe there's actually an intention to say, well, look, what we're going to do is we're going to go our own way, and we're going to prove that Bitcoin GPU will mine on Equihash, exactly, Cranky Pete. I've actually got a little graph here that I'll bring up in a second. I'll put it in front that shows you the difference between Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, and Bitcoin. It's a pretty cool little one. Look, to be honest, it is put out by Bitcoin Gold, so you do have to be aware of a bias there. Obviously, they're going to want to promote their own altcoin. But what I love about it is they're openly admitting they're an altcoin. They're going with a different method, and that I read that they're even open to it being integrated into Bitcoin, essentially. So we're going to try this, and if it's better, you guys can use it too, you know. So that's pretty cool. That's a good attitude to take into it, you know. Forward as one, not internal struggles and internal battles. That's not going to help blockchain as a whole. So for me, I think Bitcoin Gold actually provides a much bigger value proposition, not just in terms of, because honestly the tech is kind of not super impressive. I'd still rather be on Litecoin or Vertcoin. I don't know what your opinion is, guys. But just purely on the let's go forward together mentality, let's not attack Bitcoin, let's just use the protocol, let's fork, and let's offer an alternative with GPU mining and let the people decide what they want. Decentralization. That's what I like about Bitcoin Gold. I don't necessarily think it's the greatest coin in the world. They've still got 10-minute block times. Yeah, I don't know that we will, Pete. I think we're already starting to see some money flow out of altcoins into the BTC market because people know they're going to get BTG, which is going to be the trade symbol for Bitcoin Gold. This is a little, let me bring up this chart. This is, and B2X is the other fork coming up as well, Segwit 2X. And the majority of the bigger guys are against the Segwit 2X. Anyway, let's, I know, let's stop talking about it. It's my job to talk about it, Pete. You know, everyone should know by now after what happened with Bitcoin Cash anyway. Everyone should be aware that it's going to be an airdrop and you're going to get free Bitcoin Gold for holding Bitcoin. But I just wanted to show you this graph that's been put out. Now, this is actually news.bitcoin.com. So, yeah, it's not exactly, it's not always the most... Okay, so basically that shows you the difference there. So you've got your money supply being $21 million, 21 million coins across the board. So I'll get my mouth out so you can hear me. The proof of work type, you can see here, this is where you're getting a major difference. So Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin 2X are all going to have ASIC, whereas Bitcoin Gold is going to have GPU. So that's a major difference. To me, that's the major difference in the value propositions. The block times 10 minutes across the board. The difficulty adjustment for the block is each block with Bitcoin Gold, which is again different. The rest work on a 2 weeks difficulty increase, if you like. So yeah, that's it. I mean, really, there's not a whole lot of other difference, but for me, at least they've got something different, because when I look at Bitcoin Cash as opposed to Bitcoin, it's not a huge difference, and I don't know. Segwit, no Segwit. Bitcoin Cash will go Segwit 2X. I don't know if Bitcoin Cash will go to Segwit 2X. But yeah, I think, hang on, let's see what Pete says. I think that Bitcoin Gold are at least providing an alternative. An easy to understand alternative. Okay, I'm mining with GPUs. I get it. Easier mining. It's able to be narrowed down to layman's terms. I like that. So, Pete says, I believe Equihash has traditionally been a very profitable hashing algorithm. Yeah. You're speaking Dutch to me, mate. No, I'm just joking. I have heard the term, so I just haven't had a lot into mining. I'm an investor. Having said that, I am looking to really up my game in the mining. I've heard people costing themselves money doing it, but I don't care. I want to prove that even an idiot like me can get together some sort of mining rig in his house, and I want to prove that staking works, and I want to be the proof of concept for the crypto economy, and I'll put my own money into it to do it, no problem. So that's where I want to be with mining. I might even have a go at mining Bitcoin Gold. Who knows? Might. If I can pull it all together, pull all the pieces together. As you know, Pete Zhao's pulling some stuff together for us at the moment. So we're looking at some pretty cool stuff that we're kind of actually developing ourselves. Well, I shouldn't say ourselves. Zhao's the whiz kid behind all that. So yeah, so there's some cool stuff going on in this space, and I'd certainly like to use myself and my investment friends and crew that are around here who are all going to kick in a bit of cash here and there, and we're going to show you the proof of concept. We're going to show you that mining that investing and that working in the crypto economy is not only viable but extremely profitable. That's our plan. So we'll see how we go with that. But if anyone has any opinions on Bitcoin Gold, because I haven't seen any come up saying, look, oh, Bitcoin Gold's just garbage, it's a cash grab. Now, I heard that a lot with Bitcoin Cash. Xiao and I potentially still have that opinion, but Bitcoin Gold to me actually does provide an alternative. It seems to me that it's been promoted as an altcoin and not as we're gonna, the Bitcoin and this is the true Bitcoin. They're saying we're an altcoin. The Slack group's pretty small at the moment. I might even be able to get over there. I don't know. Maybe we should appoint someone from the group to go and hunt down the devs and all that for Bitcoin Gold, because there's only like 250 people on their Slack group at the moment. That's nothing. We can get some really good information before it all happens, right? By hunting them down. So maybe we can talk about that on Discord and see if anyone wants to put their hand up. I know we've all got like Pete's covering Substratum and a few things at the moment. I'm obviously over at PIVX. By the way, PIVX is too cheap at the moment. Just moving quickly onto that, because it did drop down below that $3 mark again, and we've got new technology coming out before the end of the year. We're implementing Zero Coin Protocol. Maybe as soon as this month. Implementations like that usually drive price action. That's all I'm going to say. You please make your own decisions in the markets, but I think below $3 is too cheap for PIVX, given the stage of development we're at, given the community that we're building, given some of the businesses we're starting to work with and some of the athletes we've started to sponsor in that form of things as well, given our governance model is absolutely revolutionary and nothing that anyone else in the crypto economy is doing as far as I know, in terms of really working towards equality with the governance, not based on how much you're worth, but you're one person, you get one view. It's going to be difficult, but that's certainly what we're working towards. And I don't know of too many other cryptos with that goal. So, yeah, I think PIVX is really going to be well received by new people coming into the market. How many coins of PIVX Masternode? 10,000, Pete. So it's fairly expensive. The good thing is though, mate, guess what I got yesterday? Pete, guess what I got? Staking bonus! I got another one yesterday. I was stoked. So yeah, I'm just staking. I don't have enough to run a masternode. I'm not a masternode holder. I've only been there for 2 months. I'm earning my money in PIVX, but I do have to sell some of that to pay my bills in the real world. So I'm slowly building up my PIVX, and my goal certainly is to be a masternode holder one day. So I'm kind of hoping that the price stays low for a little bit so I can accumulate more. But yeah, look, I'm getting the staking bonuses. I can actually physically see my money working for me, and that's very important for someone who doesn't understand computers. I can see my staking bonuses come in. I understand that as long as the PIVX price stays stable, that's me making interest. And if the PIVX price goes up as well, which it's doubled since I started working there, because of me, obviously. Joking. Massive team at PIVX. I'm just a tiny little side guy. But you know, honestly, that's huge for me. I've held as many shares as I can. I've cashed out as little as I can because I believe in the company. But I have had to sell some. I have had to pay some bills. This is my job now. So this is my income. So yeah, I do have to sell some PIVX from time to time. But I usually do that and try and validate it as a currency by paying real world bills, by transferring it into bank accounts, and eventually it'll be on my card and I'll be able to go out and have lunch on it. When the share price runs up, I'll be getting 10% off my lunch sort of thing. So yeah, it's PIVX is, to me, it ticks all the boxes. Easy use. I think 2018 is going to be the year of proof of stake. Ethereum's already leading the market towards that by moving to a proof of stake model. And I think 2018 is also going to be the year of the anonymous coin. Why? Because of what the governments are doing in China and Korea. And it's scary that other governments might say, well, hang on a second, this is actually a real threat to our dollar or whatever. Our yen or well, it won't be the yen because Japanese are cool with it, but yuan or won, you know, they see it as a threat, and they see their only option is to regulate it, to shut it down. I mean, essentially that's the biggest threat to the crypto economy. If you can't get your fiats in at all, if all the countries did it, that would be a threat to the crypto economy. So, having exchanges regulated and able to operate like Japan has done is a huge step forward for us. Massive. That's not to be underestimated. I know it's Bitcoin Gold making all the headlines and China's scare tactics and Korea doing God knows what, throwing a bunch of money into building their own public blockchain and then going, oh, no, we don't like ICOs. Anyway, again, it's a knee-jerk reaction. It's an overreaction from Korea. They should have regulated. They should have taken their time. They should have stepped back and thought about it before just going like they do it, pulling the pin on it, same way China did. To me, it doesn't show that it's been given its due diligence. It hasn't been given proper consideration before action. And that's not what I want from my government. I know that. Ours is usually slow to move. If anything, we're still voting on... No, I'm not going to bring that debate into here. So if anyone's got any other opinions on Bitcoin Gold, please feel free to bring it up. For me, it's an altcoin. And it is another altcoin. I think there's better value proposition altcoins already on the market. Having said that, I don't hate Bitcoin Gold. Because as opposed to Bitcoin Cash, they say, no, we like Bitcoin. We like the protocol. We don't think too much needs to be changed. At this stage, what we think it's going to be better on GPU mining. That's essentially what they're saying. And to me, that is reason enough to fork and try something different. Will they be successful? Time will tell. Time will tell. But it's going to be an interesting space, and since we're all going to get some for free, I suppose it doesn't really matter whether Bitcoin Gold takes off or not. I might have a go at mining it if I can get everything into place by the end of the month, though. I really want to mine Vertcoin, though. That's like my big one that I want to start mining. So I've got to get all the equipment for that. I have to get a meetup with Joe, and who was on the chat earlier, Crypto Care and Geordie. They're good with their computers, so I'll get them to sort it out for me. Alright, we've got a few minutes left. Does anyone want to look at any coins on the graphs or anything? Just chuck them up in the chat if you do. Pete's just asked, can we actually sell BTC, Bitcoin, in Australia in any exchanges? No, not at the moment, mate. Not that I'm aware of. Joe would probably be the best person to ask about that. I've been using Coinbase, and I know we certainly can't exchange back into fiat from Coinbase at the moment. There is a procedure you can do through PayPal, but there's no way in hell I'm giving PayPal even the slightest cent of profit out of my crypto. So no, piss off PayPal, you're not getting a cent. I'll wait for some markets to come up where I can get my money out. Or Pete, honestly, man, the best thing to do because of the rates of exchange you get charged is get one of those crypto credit cards, bro. It's like you're looking at 3%. Yeah, you like my rants, don't you? You're looking at 3%, bro. Because we have to pay, we don't have an Australian dollar credit card, right? Crypto debit card at the moment. So if we were to use 10x or UBIC or any of those things, we're going to be looking at paying 3% on our purchases because it's in Oz dollars instead of US dollars. But then, Pete, you think about this, man, if you go for a trip, like to any of those countries using US dollars, which is quite a lot of them, you're paying 0%. And if you're paying in any other currency, like Sri Lankan rupees, for me, when I go to Sri Lanka, I'm paying 3% on my card instead of 10% to the bloody exchanges. Yeah, have a look into the... Pete, hold on for a sec, man, because... Well, have a look into them, bro, but I really want to get in contact with Julian at 10x, because given our investment group is a HODL group, we like to invest in long-term projects, we like to identify them. Given that I'm obviously representing an anonymous coin that could be used on his card, and it is a high market cap coin, I think we should be able to come up with an arrangement where a bunch of us Aussies can show the 10x card being used in Australia using PIVX. I'd like to see that. So I'm going to keep pushing for that until it happens. You know me, Pete, pain in the ass I am. So I'll just keep hassling the guys at 10x until they answer me. I said I'll get on a plane and go to Singapore if I have to. No problem. It's not that far from here. Get a bunch of us. We'll all get on a plane from Singapore and just go knock on the door. Boys from Oz are here. Yeah, we'll come up with something, Pete. And we'll look. I want to use 10x to be honest because I like their credit card. So I'm probably not going to get a different one even if Julian says, "Hey, go away. Just buy one like everyone else if you want one." So hey Mohammed, how are you, brother? Yeah, so I'll try and see what we can come up with, Pete, because I think, as our group, we'll proactively go out and make videos showing it being used. We want to do that because we want not just 10x to succeed and not just PIVX to succeed and not just Vertcoin and Litecoin and our favourite coins, and Ripple for Agent Smith, the heartless bastard. We want the crypto economy to succeed because it's a better alternative. So any currency, being responsible, making those real world connections, trying to run a good business, building community behind crypto economy and blockchain, I'm happy to get behind. CHC. Yeah, I saw it had a good run up, Top Drones, actually. Sorry, man, I just missed your first question. Always do that, Top Drones. Top Drones has just done perfect. He asked me about CHC. I was on a rant. I missed it. So thank you for asking. Yeah, I've still got my 2 masternodes for CHC, so I'm obviously very happy. Xiao and I actually run them together now. Xiao hosts them for me, and Xiao, he's been reporting to me every time we get our staking bonuses off the CHC masternodes, and we're doing quite well on them now. Like, it did pop down to sort of as low as 17 cents. I saw it against the US dollar. And that's $170 for a masternode. So that was starting to get good buying. They are actually putting roadmaps up and things like that. To be honest, I think Chaincoin as a project, as far as I can figure it out, because I haven't spent a lot of time. It took up a lot of my early days in the YouTube space and in the crypto space. I got suckered in big time to what I thought was an official group for Chaincoin. It had nothing to do with the developers at all. It was some guy running his own version of a pump and dump. Now, it's unfortunate that that happened to Chaincoin. The technology's not bad. It's good technology. Essentially, they came out with the technology before Dash, the 11 hash. Oh shit, I'm not good with it, but it's like 11 hashes or something. 11. You guys with computers know what I'm talking about, hashing algorithms or something like that. So they essentially came out with that technology before Dash, actually, but they just kind of got lost in the mix. And to me, I think if you ask me, the signs are that the project was abandoned. That's what it looks like to me. I'm not 100% sure that work was being done on it full time, but since the pump and dump, the funny thing is it's actually stayed well above where it actually started from the pump. So a lot of people did actually get interested in the coin. And even for people like myself who are stubborn pricks and will just write an investment into the ground if they've got it wrong and go, Elysium Core, how are you, man? Good to see you. How'd I go with the name? I think I got it. Elysium Core. Good to see you. Yeah, so I think Chaincoin got abandoned for a while. I do, but I think the developers have picked it back up now because there's active signs of development going on with the coin again. So to me, again, it's a value proposition not dissimilar from Dash, apart from the fact that now you can get it for 300 now. It was as low as 117 cents a coin. It's gone up to 30 odd. Let's just have a quick. I want to give you some accurate figures. I saw it run up overnight. I did notice that one. I usually wake up and have a quick look at all my investments, or most of them, just to see where we're at. But yeah, Xiao and I are running the masternodes on that. We're hitting residual income fairly regularly. So we actually have a plan to continue to actually accumulate with Chaincoin. I'll tell you openly our plan. We've got 2 masternodes. And Xiao and I'll tell you open and honest, our arrangement. As you guys know, I suck with this stuff. So I said, tell you what, Xiao, I've got 2 masternodes just sitting here, doing nothing, because I don't know how to get them running. I'll send them both to you. You run them. You take half the residual. I still own the assets. He's said done. So what we're going to do now is when we've got enough residual, I'm going to put it back to the trading platform. I'm going to trade that because it can't be held as a full masternode until it hits 1,000 coins. We're going to continue to earn residual income off the other 2, continuing to add that to our trades, and then we'll create a 3rd and a 4th masternode. When we've got 4 masternodes, I'm taking the 2 back I came in with, plus 1, and Xiao's taking 1. And that's the agreement we've come up with. So we're going to keep hammering the crap out of that until we've got 4 masternodes all earned through residual. That's our plan. And then Xiao will have control over his own masternode for helping him out, and because for helping me out, and because because I was giving him half the residual and got my asset actually working for me, I'll have a 3rd masternode. So everyone wins, provided the price stays steady. And if it goes up, even better. But that's our plan with Chaincoin. So yeah, we're trying to acquire the 4 nodes. And the simple thing is because, man, I've lost money on it. So for me, it's always the way, right? I don't sell at losses. That's writing off my losses. That's admitting that I was wrong, and I'm a stubborn prick. I'll be wrong to zero before I'll be wrong to half my money. So I bought it at an average of, I think, around the 60 to 80 cents mark. I did get into it nice and early before that big pump, and then I held my word while everyone else was selling out. So I burnt myself on that one big time by just getting involved in something that clearly wasn't actually coordinated, and I don't know whether it was just ignorance, like the leader of that movement, if you like, believing that he had more power than he did, or whether it was coordinated because while he was telling everyone else that it was going to double every day, he's dumping it straight back onto you. So I can't tell you one way or another which way that actually went. All I can tell you is I was certainly involved with it, and I had made the mistake of getting onto the wrong Slack group because I was very new to social media, and I thought that I was on the official Slack group for Chaincoin, and I wasn't. So that was a huge mistake for me. So you do have to be careful in this market. You know, you can get fooled very easily. Chaincoin's sitting at 31 cents a coin at the moment, so it has had a nice run up. Just under the 31 cents, 30.89. So really nice run up. That's about 7,000, just over 7,005 Satoshi for those of you playing that game. It is only available on some smaller exchanges at the moment if you are wanting to play that. But you can see what I'm talking about. This was the pump and dump for Chaincoin. Look at that spike, up to $6.80 a coin, and I had 2,000 of them that I couldn't set up on a masternode. I was yelling at people to try and help me. Going, "Cunt, guys, I'm missing out on all this residual. Can someone help me?" Nah, too busy talking buy and sell walls. And that's when I got really, really discouraged with the whole thing. And I actually wrote to the guy leading it and said, "Oh, I want to dump all my stuff. We're not supposed to, but this is not good business. I'm a masternode holder. I have 2 of them, and no one from the group's helping me earn my residual income, and that's a problem. We need to start running this thing like a business, or real world investors aren't going to get involved." And I said, "I'll give you 7 days to get back to me, or I'll dump everything." And within 2 days, it had gone down to a tenth of the price again. So that's whether the leader of that who arranged that movement or not will admit it or not, that is a classic pump and dump. Whether he had control over that or not, I still to this day, I have no idea. I'd like to think he didn't, and it was just ignorance. He overplayed his hand. It can happen to the best of us. That I can forgive. If it was him orchestrating a pump and dump to make a shitload of money, then Fish and the boys will be coming after you next time I'm in San Francisco. That's all I can say. Plenty of surfers over there, mate. Or Cali, or wherever you live. I can't remember. We'll find you. Kev says, "I regret not getting BitConnect. Laugh out loud. My friend said he made 60% off playtesting at that." Oh, shivers, I missed the rest of that. Let me get back to it. Kev, "I regret not getting BitConnect. Laugh out loud. My friend said he made 60% off playtesting $1,000. We do suspect it's a scam." Yeah, man, I'm not touching BitConnect, to be honest. Way too much chatter that it is a scam. And if it's not, I'm sorry to the people at BitConnect, but there's way too much talk about that, so I'm not touching it. I'm out of that one. Things I'm looking at in the next 48 hours in terms of investment is LA Token. LA Token is finishing up this phase of ICO in the next 24 hours or so. There is a 13.5% bonus, and there is also referral bonuses. So, Wilkie's just jumped in for like half it, like not a big investment on this one. He just wanted to play in it a little bit. So Wilkie's chucked in on that. I'll probably give him the referral, even though he's a whale. No, he doesn't need it. So, no, I'll give it to him. I'll give the referral to Wilkie, but if anyone wants to jump in, we'll just split up rewards. I've still got those rewards from Substratum. I can't remember who our other investor was. I can look it up in the Discord chat. It's all there, but I'd have to go back through everything. So, Pete, I don't know if you can remember who our other investor was on that one, man, but I owe some people some sub. I do, because I'm not keeping those rewards. Not for myself. Not when you guys had bigger investments and I got all the rewards. That's not fair. So let's split them up, and let's work out how much I'm actually entitled to through my investment and how much came in as rewards, and we'll just split the rest up, man. Yeah. That's a good point. Our Substratum are actually putting together a bit of a push to be listed onto Binance. That's a really good point. Binance has got a lot of big investors on it. It is Chinese based, but honestly, their customer base was only 15% Chinese when the Chinese said no more. So Binance weren't too worried. And they've actually got, it's kind of like a vote every, I don't know how often it happens, Xiao, do you? Every month or something, they take on a new coin or something like that. And it's basically up to the public. Now, I believe Verge got taken on. Was that one of the first ones that got taken on? Verge got taken on? Yeah, well, we're on Substratum, Kev. We've been on that since ICO. Pete's been our man. He's been our man in the Slack groups for that one. He's been our insider, if you like, the crypto wave mole. Pete was in at Substratum. I wouldn't say mole. He's a very big supporter of the project. He's just the one talking to the developers, talking to the crew over there, and keeping us all in the crypto wave investment crew informed in what's going on in Substratum. Now, Pete said that the guys over there getting excited about prices potentially of as high as 50 cents a coin in fairly short amount of times. Oh man, we need to get PIVX on. Yeah, I'd like to run that. Like, I'd love to do that. Let's look at how we can do that, Elysium Cord. The problem for me, man, is I'm not a big... Zhao's helping me a lot with my social media, but I've never known how to utilize it. So even when I was bodyboarding at World Stage, I didn't have any followers or anything. I only just signed up to Facebook in 2015. So I would love to help with that drive for sure. I'd like to run it by Snappy, Brian. He runs a lot of those things, the community development projects, and Chad, and just see what they think the best way to go about having a coordinated effort to get our 8,000 Slack members, plus anyone else interested in having PIVX onto Binance, and have a coordinated request, if you like, of Binance saying, hey, we'd like to be on the Binance exchange. I think that's a really good idea. We need to get on Poloniex, and I just think that at this stage it's... My honest feeling is it's important, but it's not being given top priority at PIVX. We'd rather just keep developing our tech. If you go and see the interview with Fuzz on, I can't remember the name of the channel, but there was an interview with a few of the PIVX guys, including one of our PIVX developers, Fuzz, and Fuzz just said zero coin protocol. That's what I'm doing at the moment. That's what I'm on. PIVX is taking up my life. He was asked about other coins. He said, what other coins? As if they don't exist, as if there's a PIVX market, and the altcoin market would be anything else that existed, but there is nothing else in his mind. That's how focused he is on PIVX, and his task at hand of getting zero coin implemented for PIVX. So some exciting times coming up for us in the coming months, because the guys are getting close on that one. So I expect price action based around that alone. But you guys think about it. We're a top 40 coin. A top 40 coin without being listed on any major exchange except Bittrex. That's it. That's the major one. We're on Cryptopia and smaller ones as well. But realistically, 97% of our volume for PIVX is something around that figure is traded on one exchange. So what do you think is going to happen when we start hitting those bigger exchanges? The volumes are going to go through the roof, and volumes usually going to drive price action as more people want it to trade. So it's in less supply, more relative demand for it, the price will go up. That's generally how it works. I can't be guaranteeing that, but there's not too many coins that have suffered from going onto extra exchanges. More availability is a good thing when you're trying to promote mass adoption. So yeah, I think there's certainly a need to focus on getting the coins onto exchanges, and good exchanges at that, with high volumes and reputable exchanges is important. But I don't think it's the only issue facing the crypto economy or each crypto individually. The reality is if we get big enough, which we already are getting big enough at 150 to $200 million valuation consistently. It's not like we just flooded up there and came down. This is either the most sustained pump and dump of all time, or it's not a pump and dump. It's a coin validated at well over $150 million worth of value. Now, how long is it going to be before the major exchanges are going to keep ignoring that? How long can they keep ignoring that for? They can't. They're going to be coming to us eventually. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I just know that we have actually, like, there were 5,000 requests sent to Poloniex. 5,000 requests, and they didn't get back to us. We're not going to pay to get on exchanges. That's not part of our plan at this moment. Exchanges are going to earn enough out of our coin being traded. We don't need to pay them to get on there. They should be demanding us, not the other way around. I think that's very much the attitude that's been taken by the PIVX team, and I can understand that. So let's have a look at what Pete said, because he's had a couple of comments coming up regarding sub, and he's our man in the groups on that one. Yeah, thanks, Pete. We will. I might try and coordinate that with the guys. Like in November, we might try and do that one. Pete's just suggesting we try and do a sub. A PIVX community drive. Yeah, sub community funded each other, as you need 1 BNB to vote. 0.1 BNB. Yeah, but BNBs aren't worth a lot. Binance coins aren't that expensive, man. So if you only need 0.1 BNB, I can go. I don't care. I'll go. I trade on Binance. Don't I get any say for that? I've got a Binance account with coins in there. Not BNB though. One coin, 3 votes, Pete? Is that what you're saying? Anyway, it doesn't really matter, man. Like, I'll go and speak to the guys at PIVX. Like, Snappy's probably going to be real interested in that. Like Brian, I'd say he'll want to have a look at that as well. Oh no, $1.30. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. 1.3. Okay, $1.30 for Binance. So for BNB, so 13 cents per vote. Yeah, well we can organise something around that, man. We got 8,000. What would that work out at? 8,000 Slack members. If we gave them all each one vote, it'd only cost us like $1,000. That's not a lot to get added to a new exchange, and on top of that, we'd actually be giving our Slack members Binance coins. So we're not paying for it. We're giving extra value to our PIVX Slack members. That's all we're doing. We're not buying it. We're giving extra value to our Slack members. So I don't know. Maybe that's something we can have a look at. Not a good one like that. What do you mean, not a good one like that, Pete? I like that idea. See what everyone else thinks. Maybe I'm getting carried away. But I'll certainly run over to the dudes at PIVX and see if they want to go for a Binance listing. I just don't think it's going to be their major focus. They'll probably say, we can do it. But they're so like everyone's really focused on zero coin protocol at the moment and making sure that that's implemented well. A good exchange like Binance, Pete said. Not a good one like that. Yeah, okay. I gotcha. It is worth $1,000. Thanks for that, LCM Core. I did actually see we were listed. We're going to get on Shapeshift as well. PIVX is going to be on Shapeshift soon. That's pretty cool, right? That's wicked. Like, I'm pretty sure Shapeshift are connected with Bitfinex. It's one of the big ones anyway. So we're going to get on Shapeshift. There was another one that we're going to get on. I can't remember. There was 4 announced. But Elysium Core has just added that Upbit, new Korean exchange, will add 110 crypto from Bittrex. Most likely PIVX is on there. I believe it is, mate. Yes, I had heard about that one. I think it might have been Zhao who first brought that one to my attention. But that's good news. I mean, Korea are going a little heavy-handed with their tactics at the moment. Actually, what I will do, because we have gone well past the hour today, but what I'd like to wrap up with is just a question I was asked earlier in the chat that I didn't get to, and that's about the Icon ICO and how that was affected by Korea's moves. Now, or how is it likely to affect Icon? Well, it has already, because Icon have decided that they're going to push back their KYCs, the proof of identities. Now, it was going to be from today, through till the 10th that you were required to produce your KYCs to claim your pre-ICO investment in Icon. That's changed. They're pushing that back. The reason they're doing that is basically to get all their security in order, to make sure that the investors that have invested pre-ICO will not be affected in the wake of this most recent decision from Korea. So they're making sure all their security stuff, they've jumped through hoops like crazy, Icon, to get their ICO as legitimate as could possibly be in an unregulated market. So for me, the delay in getting your KYCs in and the inevitable delay in actually getting our coins and actually being able to trade them at market is not a concern. It's a good thing, if anything. I always sit on this thing for a long-term investment anyway. I wasn't looking to flip it by the end of the month and hope to make 100x, but I certainly have those figures in mind for the long term for that project. So for me, then putting off KYCs for a couple of weeks and putting the whole project back on the back of a major announcement out of this, on the country where it's based, is not a problem at all. And it hasn't affected the ability to raise the funds in ICO because the funds were already raised. Biggest ICO in Korean history, obviously. And the funds are already raised. So they can't take them off Icon now. Too late. So yeah, it in terms of its roadmap, I guess, in terms of the release of the coins onto market and the actual KYCs and that, yes, there has been an effect. It's pushing it all back. In terms of the effect of the price, yeah, I mean, Icon was a coin that had the potential to be a D-up coin, so other coins and other businesses being developed on top of it. Now, undoubtedly, some of those would have been looked to being launched at ICO, and if ICO is not going to be a viable way of launching coins in the future, that will have an effect on that small part of Icon as a full value proposition. But don't forget, that's not the only thing they're working on. And any companies that they're already working with that would be looking to build their own D-app on top of an Icon platform can still do that without going to ICO. So I don't see it devaluing the overall future value of Icon by a significant amount, if any, long term. Short term, definitely. So that was a question I was asked earlier. I did want to wrap up on that because it has been a big discussion today. Another thing to keep an eye out for coming up is the other Bitcoin fork, the 2x, SegWit 2x. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've only read it, so I don't know for sure. But SegWit 2x, it's basically about increasing block size to 2 megabyte. That's as simple as I can put it. There are people for and against it, and we can have that discussion another time. For today, I thought we'd look at Bitcoin Gold. Please feel free to leave your comments below for YouTube for that discussion whether Bitcoin Gold is a necessary addition to the crypto economy, whether it's going to be a good thing for the crypto economy in general, or whether it's just a cash grab and there's no need for it. I'd love to hear your opinions. And thank you all who joined into the live discussion today. I'm going to check out now, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Same time. It's 11 a.m. Queensland time, Brisbane time. It's now 12 a.m. Sydney time. It's like 100 metres either way. I get different time zones, but I work on Queensland time. So 11 a.m. Brisbane time, 12 midday for the Sydney siders. And I'll be back tomorrow to chat some more crypto with you. Catch you then. Latest Kev, latest cultures. I'll see you guys.